Summer's gone, I'm latching on. Don't even know your name, but you're still in my
that game in the series finale against the Reds, but no time to really fret because you got the Phils who are playing really good baseball as well.
So Ryan standing in on the left side, and the first pitch of this one from Wheeler will miss for ball one. We're underway in Philadelphia. It's on the steamy side, been low 90s all day. After it rained, it cooled off a little bit, but back to the heat again. With the sun out, lights are on here at Citizens Bank Park. And a rise, carving it foul off to the left out of play.
That's how it works out this way. You get a rain, that means the humid weather is coming right behind it.
It's brief.
It's quick relief from the rain, and then the heat comes right behind it.
Really good numbers against the Padres, including the postseason for Wheeler. But then again, he's got good numbers against just about everybody.
Yeah, he's that guy. One of the best pitchers, one of the best and most consistent pitchers in all of baseball.
2-1 is lined into right field, a base hit for a rise, and a good start to this one.
He certainly seems to be heating up as the summer months come around. Wheeler tries to get this heater, tries to run that sinker back over the inside corner, and the quick hands of Arise gets him out of there. Single in the right to get things kicked off here for the Padres.
He's now reached base safely in 25 of 28 games. And on a first on over there by Harper. And brings up Manny Machado in the 2 spot. Jumping on that first pitch and carving it foul off to the right. It's time for the Sequan Casino Resort scouting report on Wheeler.
Lefty-righty mix from Wheeler, 2 completely different repertoires as it pertains to right and left-handed hitters, and he's going to live on the edges. When he's at his best, you're going to see very little in the middle of the plate. As a good example right there. I mean, even Luis Ariza's single, that ball's inner third, if not inside corner. That's how you're going to have to make your living if Wheeler's on his game.
Machado checks in, hitting at 293 in tonight's action, and missing badly is Wheeler there with that sweeper. Too much sweep. Machado was 2 for 12 in the series against the Reds. It's an 18 of his last 25 contests for Manny Machado. And a swing and a miss. 97 and by him. First strikeout of the night for Zach Wheeler.
It's the fastball. Actually, probably a little bit of a mistake for Wheeler. Ends up in the middle of the plate, but he gets that right-hander thinking about that sinker in off the plate, and all of a sudden he runs that four-seamer there. Gets him at the top of the zone.
1 on, 1 out for Jackson Merrill. Swing and a miss. There's that high heat. That one out of the strike zone, but could not catch up, especially up there. 294 to start the ball game. 5 homers, 26 runs batted in for Jackson. Mike Schultz sticking with his lineup, the new look lineup, with the top 4 with Merrill's return, now batting third. That's been one of the issues, though. It has been a lack of being able to score and getting runs, and especially with runners in scoring position. Yesterday, 0 for 13. Ouch.
Left 13 on, 0 for 13, and that's part of the reason I'm sure we've seen the shakeup with the lineup. Just trying to find a way to spark something.
They were 1 for 24 in the series against the Reds with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, and when you are leaving those type of opportunities out there, it forces you to be perfect in every other element of that game. And you go back to that game yesterday, they weren't perfect in that 9th inning, and they ended up losing because of it.
Going to the count here to Merrill with a rise at first base. A check on him, and diving back safely is a rise.
I think the thing about Wheeler that's consistent, although the left-handed, right-handed kind of repertoire is different, the one thing he wants to do is pitch in to both lefties and righties. That seems to set up everything else he's doing.
Swing and a miss, and Merrill chases after the curveball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Zach Wheeler, 2 down.
That's part of the lefty repertoire right there, the curveball. Misses in the middle of the plate, but because it's down and it's presented in a way that Merrill can't resist the offer at, he goes down swinging.
So 2 down, a rise with a good-sized lead at first base. And Fernando standing in and taking ball 1. 258 start to the night, average-wise, 15 homers, 37 runs batted in. He was 2 for 11 in the series against the Reds. There's a ground ball softly at the short. Trey Turner on the run and in time to get Tatis and to end the top of the first inning. Padres don't score. The Fighting Phils are coming up. Catching with Stott at second and Marsh in center field. Great to see Matt Waldron back. And his first pitch in there for a strike. That's his first pitch of 2025 at the big league level.
A 92-mile-per-hour fastball, not the knuckleball that you would think.
A long way back, an oblique situation. As we look at the numbers this season in the minor leagues, working his way back here. Sweeper that time.
This is starts in the minor leagues, 8 starts, 3-2 with a 5.04 ERA. Opponents hitting 3.08.
The jersey is drenched already, and this is the first inning for him.
Welcome to Philadelphia.
Wow.
In June, July.
A little bit on the humid side.
He's rocking the darker version.
Yes. 2-2 to Trey Turner. And a full count down. That was a knuckleball. Of course, he threw more knuckleballs last year. He had some really big starts for the Padres last year. I mean, it was really important that he did well while the Padres were dealing with injuries.
Yeah, the Padres don't get where they got to without Waldron in the middle of the season.
This is on the ground right side. Cronenworth ranging over, throws off balance. Nice play. That was what he featured last year. Again, many more knuckleballs in.
Waldron at one point was one of their best starters.
Kyle Schwarber no longer in the leadoff spot here in Philadelphia as he was for a couple of years. Talking to Rob Thompson about it. And really it was just a A lot of strikeouts there, but you're not worried about the strikeouts with him. I mean, that's three things are going to happen. He's going to strike out, walk, or homer. That's kind of what you got.
He's amongst the top leaders in the three outcomes, three true outcomes.
So the home run part of it is why they moved him down. They wanted more people on base in front of him so that when he did hit home runs, because so many of them were solos. So they dropped him down in the order, and he was hitting lower earlier in the year, but right now hitting in the 2 spot. But, here are the true outcomes, and one of these three things are going to happen.
That being said, I think Kyle Schwarber has become a better all-around hitter since his time here in Philly began. You can almost deal with the strikeouts because he's on base so much, and he has improved just overall as a hitter. Hammers left-handed pitching. But this year, he's doing the same thing against right-handed pitching, excuse me.
2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss struck him out. Knuckleball got him. Well, there it is, the knuckleball. First strikeout of the night for Matt Waldron.
Kyle Schwarber got a heavy dose of the knuckleball. 4 out of the 5 pitches were knuckleballs. This last one, nasty. Bottom falling out of it for out number 2.
That's a tumbler.
Yeah, didn't have the no spin, but nonetheless had the type of movement you're looking for.
Bryce Harper returning and getting a standing O. And a wrist problem that had him on the IL, back tonight. And back at first base. The Phillies have been playing good baseball in his absence. But they're glad to have their 3-hitter back. Always better when Harper's in the lineup for Philadelphia.
Still a little bit below 500 without him in the lineup, so anytime you can add a Bryce Harper to your lineup, you certainly are a pretty happy team.
He will foul it off to the left out of play. We'll take a look at the Padres defensively. Presented by Valley View Casino. Johnson in left, Merrill in center. Tatis Jr. around and right. Machado at third. Bogarts at short. Cronenworth at second. Arise at first. And Maldonado doing the catching for Waldron. 2 down here in the first. And a 1-2 to Harper. And there's the knuckleball. And it takes off away. Yeah, he's looking for not many rotations. 0 would be great, but a couple. He's still in good shape, and it can tumble.
I mean, the one that he threw, Schwarber, certainly had some tumble to it. Sure, it would not be the ideal knuckleball you'd want, but the result is ultimately what you're looking for as the count has run full here, 3-2 to Bryce Harper.
Good numbers against the Padres. All 5 to Harper have been knuckleballs so far. 3-2 pitch. And that's a sweeper that is carved foul off to the left out of play.
I know that's the pitch outside of the knuckleball. It seemed like that when Waldron needed a strike, he'd go to that sweeper off in last season. See if things have changed for him here in 25.
Out ahead. And sending this knuckleball a long way foul. Second deck. Merrill over in left center. Lots of green grass in right center for Harper. This is the 8th pitch, and it misses for ball 4. Missed with a knuckleball. And a base on balls for Bryce Harper with 2 down.
Didn't miss by much. But does not get the call from home plate umpire Chad Fairchild.
Sometimes knuckleballs are tough to call.
Yeah, no doubt.
They're tough to catch. They're tough to hit, and they're certainly tough to call for an umpire.
I mean, the mere fact that it's tough to catch can only make it that much more difficult to actually call.
I watched that for about 8 years with Tim Wakefield, and there were umpires who were better at it than others, and most of them were patient umpires who didn't, just jump at the call. They'd give it a second look, and a lot of times they would hesitate a little bit just to make sure.
Which is a little bit different, I'm sure, for umpires who are probably used to being able to make the call right away, especially with the velocities we're seeing now.
On the ground up the middle, and to the backhand goes Cronenworth. Gets up, has no play, just holds on to it. Nice pick, though, to get there at all. And Bohm will have a base hit. He's been struggling lately, but he reaches here with the infield hit.
Yeah, hard ground ball up the middle on the sinker. Taking away an opportunity for Bryce Harper to go first to third, but now Mike Bohm gets the infield single, and that'll bring up Nick Castellanos.
So Harper at second, Bohm at first, and Castellanos going after that first pitch and fouling it off. It was indeed a knuckleball. Pretty quiet trip for him. 5 for 22 on the trip at 227. The overall numbers pretty good, though, for Castellanos on the season. The Phillies playing good baseball. It's coincided with the Mets playing terrible baseball. And the Phillies now surpassing them by a game and a half in the NL East.
Pitching's been a little bit of an issue for the Mets in this recent slide that they've had.
Bob Thompson likes the way things are trending in Philadelphia at the moment. He also knows his president of baseball operations, Dave Dombrowski, likely will get help come trade deadline.
Not one to sit on his hands.
No, you can pretty much count on that as Castellanos strikes out. Second strikeout for Waldron.
And what is he doing better? He's doing an even better job of staying out of the middle of the plate and living on the corners, on the edges. 46.2% of his pitches have been on the edge of the plate this year. That's the highest rate of his career. It's a good 4 percentage points higher than what it was last year, guys. And just when you think that somebody can't get any better, Zach Wheeler shows that he has. And the other interesting thing about it, guys, that's like the 7th highest number in all of Major League Baseball. The guys that are a little bit above him are generally not stuff guys. They're command guys. He is a really unique blend of a guy that's not only living on the corners, but with plus stuff. That makes it really tough. And Tony, my question to you is, look, from a pitcher's perspective, I feel like if I'm living on the corners, you as a hitter have one of two choices. You've either got to be really patient and wait and wait and wait and make sure that if I do make a mistake, you don't miss it, or you've got to be a little less finicky and maybe try to go for some things you wouldn't otherwise. What's your thought process facing a guy like Zach Wheeler?
It's a tough task, and the one thing, because he's going to be, and I remind everybody that 47% on the edges, that doesn't mean the rest of it is in the middle of the plate. That's pitches off the plate, and so you have to then either pick a side, inside or away, and you certainly can't expand the zone.
Easier said than done.
No doubt about it. It is definitely easier said than done, but you only complicate the task when you have a guy who's living on the edges as much as almost half of his pitches, and you're also extending the zone. And so that's where, it becomes extremely tough to face a guy like Zach Wheeler.
Scan, I'm curious, as Sheets will take a ball. At this stage of his career, how does a guy go from that? I mean, at what point is it just the fact that he is older, maturing, and now has better command of the edges?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I've been trying to do some research and asking around. Was there a mechanical change that took place? Was there an arm angle change? Everything is identical. In fact, even looking deeper into the shape of his pitches, Don, everything is identical in terms of the fastball, the sinker, the cutter. The only thing that has changed is he's got a little bit more depth on his curveball this year. He's got an extra 3 inches of vertical break on it, which is helping to set up that four-seam fastball. And we can talk about the repertoire use later, but that's the only difference. So to answer your question, I think it's just a veteran guy that's getting more and more consistent in his mechanics, better idea of his command and how he's working his pitches, and he's just flat out locked in right now.
Those retired 4 in a row as Xander Bogaerts lifts one out towards right field pretty deeply. Marsh going back onto the warning track. It's off the wall. The ricochet is nasty. Gets by Marsh and into second base goes Bogaerts. A wall ball double to right center field.
Xander continues to swing a hot bat. 3 hits in yesterday's ball game, and first one out to shoot here. Tries to go Oppo Taco. Hits the top of the chain link fence in right center. He's got himself a 1-out double. Good piece of hitting. You're starting to see Xander really stay behind the baseball. Seen him a lot early in the year over that front side. A lot of rollovers to the left side of the field. Starting to see him drive the ball now.
And Jake Cronenworth jumping on the first pitch. Chased the fastball. That one at 98, pretty firm.
Real quick, just to finish up on Wheeler.
Yep.
And I know Scan was talking about it. I remember facing Wheeler as a young guy in AAA. He's always been very gifted at being able to command the baseball, even at the velocity that he has. And that's one thing you don't generally see from a lot of young guys, but he's always had good feel for all of his pitches, even throwing like upwards of 97, 98 miles per hour. He's always been very gifted at being able to put the ball where he wants it.
Well, 0 for 13 yesterday. 11 men left on base, trying to prevent that from happening here tonight with Bogaerts at second base, 1 away. And again, they were 1 for 24 in the 3-game series. There's a pitch up and away.
And it was Bogey multiple times getting on second base and being stranded there. Padres with a new day here, trying to change their fortune.
Aggressively fouling it back.
Looking at the left-handed batter versus right-handed batter. It's the same guy on the mound, but almost completely different arsenals in the way he attacks left-handed hitters versus right-handed hitters. Right-handed hitters don't see the cutter, curveball. Very rarely do they see the split.
Swing and a miss, and Cronenworth down on strikes. There's that curveball with depth that Scan was talking about. That strikeout number 3 for Wheeler, and that one was on the curveball.
Yes, they want it away. He ends up pulling it, but again, it's presented in the zone a long time before the bottom falls out. Gets Cronenworth over the top.
So 2 down here in the second inning with Bogaerts at second base. Brings up Bryce Johnson in the start in left field tonight for San Diego.
He's done some nice work in his spot starts that he's been given and pinch hit appearance.
And most of the time coming in for defensive reasons late in games, when takes over for Sheets in left field a lot. We've seen that most of the time.
Yeah,
but 417 at the plate's pretty good.
No doubt. He's a true outfielder. And, with the opportunities he's been given, he's done something with it so far.
Balls and a strike to Bryce Johnson with Bogaerts at second base. 2 down here in the Padres second inning. Next pitch will be 30 in the game for Wheeler. So coming in, 245 swings and misses for Wheeler. That's 5th most in the majors. And speaking of swing and miss, 98 is swing and a miss.
Running that heater at the top of the zone gets Bryce to expand a little bit. Count moves to 2-2.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out on the curveball. Back-to-back Ks on the curveball. Padres lead Bogarts at second base. We're scoreless after.
Constant debate, guys, as to how often Matt Waldron should be throwing the knuckleball, right? And that's pretty much where we've seen him at. And that was a lot more than the previous year, where he was in the 20s with the knuckleball. He up to 38. There was some talk in the organization that he should be up around 50 or 60% using it all the time. But what was interesting is looking at those numbers, the first 2 games versus the last 15 games, almost identical to the batting average. I mean, it is. You see the batting average against the knuckleball in those cases, and you have to wonder, if you're trying to use it more in the game, does it lose its effectiveness a little bit? In other words, do you have to be more consistent with the dancing? We know that that's such an inconsistent pitch to be able to depend on. That's one of the reasons that the Padres still want him to use the fastball and use that sweeper to try to still allow for some margin of error and some surprise when that knuckleball crosses the plate. We'll see how much he uses it today, guys.
He's got 68% so far in this game. He misses here with a fastball and a leadoff walk for Kepler, but to 68% so far in this outing. You know, it wasn't too long ago that when you would ask him, and that was before really spring training. I remember last year, are you a knuckleball pitcher? And he said he wasn't. But then that whole thing changed as the year went on. He realized they wanted more and more and more, and you know, he knew he had to stay there. He had to do that, it seemed.
Yeah, it was an internal debate going on. Some people really believed, no, the more of these that we can throw, the better. Other people felt like, no, you still need to mix in the other stuffs to keep people off getting on the knuckleball. So he's using it a lot today. If he feels like it's dancing around and it's working well, especially in this humid weather, and especially that he's not now in the thin air of that Pacific Coast League, then hopefully it dances around and he can have the same effect on the Phillies today as he had against them last year. But they squared that one up right there, guys. Let's see if he goes that knuckleball with runners on base.
The sinker driven into center by Romuto, and it's first and third with nobody out. And it brings up Bryson Stott. This has happened pretty quickly here in the bottom of the second inning. Number 8 hitter Stott, second baseman. And the recipient of strike one.
My guess is it probably relies more on the quality of the knuckleball to determine how many knuckleballs you can throw.
That particular night.
That particular night. It could vary, right? If he doesn't have a good one or he's having a hard time commanding it, he may have to go elsewhere. As we saw in the preview on the walk to Kepler, he threw 3 knuckleballs to start. He couldn't land them. He's now down behind 3-0. He ends up losing them on a 4-seam fastball, and he tries to get ahead with a sinker. The next guy leaves it in the middle of the plate. He gets hit. And so you can see the kind of confusion, may not be the right word, but why it causes a little bit of, of a conundrum, if you will, on how often he should use it, right? Because he wants to use it as often as he can if it's good, but if it's not and he can't land it, it's putting him behind the 8 ball.
Foul back. And the part of it is, too, and you alluded to this, as did Scan, the other stuff's good.
Yes.
And it's not like it's bad stuff. I go back to Tim Wakefield just because I watched him so much. It was a knuckleball or nothing. I mean, he had a curveball, had a fastball, but neither one were particularly very good.
Right. I mean, Walters can run it up there about 92 with his fastball. You don't see too many knuckleballers being able to do that.
This one is chopped towards second base. From third base comes Kepler. He'll score, throw to first in time. They get the 1 out. As Realmuto will take second base, and from third, Kepler comes in. Phillies strike first.
Cronenworth, I think, wanted to try to be able to. The ball was just hit too slow. Forced to take the out at first. Phillies push across the first run of this ball game. You see, it was just hit too soft for him to be able to grab it and get a tag out.
Realmuto at second base, 1 away, a run in. Brandon Marsh out of the 9 spot with a swing and a miss, and he chased a knuckleball. Center fielder for the Phils. 256, 2 homers, 17 runs batted in for Marsh. Popped up foul off to the left, out of play. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code Padres and get $50 instantly when you play $5. Prize Picks, the official daily fantasy partner of the Padres. 1 out with Realmuto at second base. 0-2. And kind of an excuse me check swing there, and a foul ball over by the Phillies side of things. They're housed on the first base side here at Citizens Bank Park. You knew where they were at, right? Where their house was?
I did. I did know where their house was.
You were in that house.
I was in that house at one point.
Yes. 8 straight knuckleballs here from Waldron. And this one clanks off of Maldonado, and to third base goes Realmuto. That was a knuckleball. Not easy to catch.
Exclusively knuckleballs over the last 9. This one just kind of gets away from Maldonado. It'll go down as a pass ball.
Always tough when you're trying to catch a knuckleball and you get the pass ball. It's a tough one. 90 feet away is Realmuto at third as Marsh with a count of 1-2. Infield in now all the way around. And a fly ball headed to left field. Shallow. Johnson coming in. He will make the catch, and bluffing as if he was going, and going nowhere is Realmuto. That was too close to the infield for him to try it. So 2 down. Well, the Mets, rough stretch of that shift has led to the shift of the top spot in the National League East, with the Phillies now moving into first place. And the strike here to Trey Turner on, yep, you guessed it, knuckleball. In this spot, just 189, 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And softly rolled back to Waldron. He fires to first base for the out. That will end the inning, but the Phillies do get a run, take a 1-0 lead to the
It was 2014. It was the year my dad passed. I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Philly. It was just kind of marred in with, going through the difficulty of losing my dad and at that period of time. But the people here were unbelievable. They were so gracious to me in my year here.
Sounds like a broken bat. Little pop-up. Wheeler's going to take it himself. Makes the catch. Running into foul ground. So Maldonado retired for the first out. Now, you were at the end of what was a pretty good run here in Philadelphia with the Howards, Rollins, Utleys.
Yeah.
Those guys were kind of coming to an end as a group together anyway.
I believe it was their last year together. Cole Hamels, A.J. Burnett. I mean, there was a slew of alphas in that locker room.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, who was the leader of all that?
Jonathan Papelbon was there.
Oh, no. Well, I wouldn't put him in that category with those guys.
But there were so many, and it was just although it was a tough season, it was awesome to be in the locker room with those guys. I believe it was Ryan Sandberg took over. That was his first year as manager that season. So, tough year baseball-wise. And personally, but I enjoyed being in the locker room with that group of guys.
1-1 pitch is fouled off here by Arise. Second look at Wheeler, single to right field in the first. Now, I've been told that Phillies fans are the toughest fans in Major League Baseball. They booed Santa Claus here.
I mean, to the visitors, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
but even if you're the home guy, if your things aren't going well, sometimes they can be a little rough.
If they sense a little bit of weakness or not quite putting your effort in there, they will let you have it.
Yeah, Alec Boehm didn't exactly start off great here.
Yeah, he had a little bad luck going his way. I mean, the camera happened to catch him mouthing something, and he had to then fess up for it.
It was like, I hate this place or something. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, I don't know if those are the words you want to choose in your home place.
1-2 pitch, an inside-out swing, a fly ball down the left field line. Kepler towards the line and in the foul ground makes the catch for out number 2. Score a free jumbo jack from Jack in the Box after a Padres home run with the purchase of a large drink. 2 down, 4 in a row now retired by Wheeler. And that'll bring up Manny Machado. Struck out swinging in the first inning. 4 strikeouts tonight for Wheeler. Center fielder Brandon Marsh over towards right center. On the ground, left side. Cut off by Boehm, the third baseman. Throw in time to get Machado. Padres down in order. 7-pitch inning, 1-0 Philly.
Wednesday before 9 o'clock is your final chance to get a vote in for Manny Machado, and this voting is going to decide who's going to start. You can vote once on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, as I mentioned, but on Wednesday you got to do it before 9 o'clock in the morning because that's when the polls close. Go to Padres.com/vote or MLB.com/vote, or you can vote on your ballpark app. Come on, fans, let's get Manny to the All-Star game. Don and Tony, we all know that he deserves it, right?
Absolutely, and we talked about it over the weekend in Cincinnati. It's a whole new round, which I think has confused fans a little bit. They thought, I voted for him already. No.
Keep voting.
This is a new thing.
Yeah.
So he's starting from scratch. And hopefully he will get the nod and the start in Atlanta this year, the All-Star game.
Certainly deserving start he's had this season.
Kyle Schwarber leading it off here in the bottom of the third inning. Struck out swinging in the first inning. 2 strikeouts for Matt Waldron. And that strike 3 gets him looking, and it's on the knuckleball. Second time Schwarber is down by way of the K. Third strikeout for Waldron.
It's a frustrating pitch to deal with. Looks like it's going to be up and tail off. It kind of cuts back right at the last second to kind of catch the edge there.
And there you can credit the umpire because he did wait, Chad Fairchild.
Stayed with it.
Yeah. There's a ground ball right side. Cronenworth high hopper up by the bill of his cap and able to throw out Bryce Harper for out number 2.
We were talking about it earlier with the umpires being patient. Had he not been patient, he might have saw it the same way Schwarber did, which was sailing away. But that last little cut action was able to catch the outside corner.
So 2 down, 5 in a row retired here by Waldron. And Alec Boehm reached on an infield hit in the first inning. When Padres pitchers K9, you win. Score 25% off your total purchase at participating Petco locations tomorrow with your loyalty membership. Just ask to redeem the Padres K9 promotion at checkout. Waldron falling behind here, 2-0. Next pitch should be 50 for the right-hander.
It has been heavy knuckleball so far. Coming into this inning, 83% knuckleballs thrown. See it on the
78 here tonight.
That's as good as it gets. I mean, if indeed throwing more knuckleballs is the game plan and the strategy.
Sinker that time. Needed to throw a strike and did. And that's ball 4. Second walk allowed by Waldron. This one comes with 2 outs in the third inning. Celebrate July 4th weekend at America's #1 ballpark. It's fun for the whole family when the Padres host the Texas Rangers Friday, July 4th through Sunday, July 6th. Visit Padres.com/tickets. And Padres should be home until the All-Star break after this road trip here, wrapping up in Philadelphia. Castellanos, a strikeout victim in the first inning. Getting his second look at Waldron. Got the strike call, not sure it was. That can happen too. Knuckleball.
I mean, that can happen without the knuckleball, but certainly with the knuckleball, it could happen a little more frequently.
Jackson Merrill out there in center field, and always reminded of the nooks and crannies out there. The wall comes out in left center field and all the things going on. You played center and left here, right?
I did. And you certainly have to be aware, especially in that left center kind of area there where that State Farm sign is, and get a little tricky.
Yanked that one, and it's to the backstop. It was a knuckleball, and Bohm will advance to second base.
I think you called that spot on, Donnie. Knuckleball, and he just yanks this one. Whoa. Probably go down as a wild pitch. And it does indeed go down as a wild pitch. Phillies with another opportunity with runners in scoring position.
No chance for Maldonado. It's Castellanos here with the count of 3-1. And that's ball 4. Another knuckleball, another walk. 2 have come here with 2 outs back to back. And 3 walks in all now for Waldron. Leading at the mound as Maldonado goes out. He's an extension of the coaching staff, really.
And you pay attention to Martin on his off days. If we ever pan into the dugout, he's standing right next to Mike Shildt on most occasions. That's an indicator of where his mind is and why Mike trusts him so much.
See him being a manager in the future?
I do indeed. I do indeed. I think that's part of the strategy in him standing and absorbing as much as he can from Mike Shildt to begin with.
First and second with 2 down. Max Kepler, who walked and scored the game's only run last inning. With Bohm at second, Castellanos at first, 2 down in the Phillies' 3rd inning. In the air to center field. Merrill going back towards the wall. He leaps and Merrill makes the catch in center field. Oh, that's Jackson Merrill and a little Merrill madness. Timed it, catches it, brings it back. The 401 marker. In the air to deep center.
Down memory lane, back to the times when our life was a breeze. Feel the freedom again, my mind was at ease. The sky was so blue when we rolled down the street. So, hey, I just wanna touch your vibe, I just wanna touch your vibe. Hey, I just want a good time, good time. Driving downtown, foot pushed on the pedal. Move through songs we played together. Feel like we're on holiday. I got a feeling it's a good day. We're driving downtown, foot pushed on the pedal. Move through songs we played together. Feel like we're on holiday. I got a feeling it's a good day. Sun going down, living the dream. Everything's clear, but the lines are the freeway. Let's do it again, like back in the day. Nothing can stop us from living the feeling. Hey, I just wanna touch your vibe, I just wanna touch your vibe. Hey, I just want a good time, good time. Driving downtown, foot pushed on the pedal. Move through songs we played together. Feel like we're on holiday. I got
Went from a 3-run home run to out number 3. He was amazed.
I'm glad they cut the tape when they did.
Jackson Merrill leads it off here in the 4th inning. And a fly ball to left field. Max Kepler back a few steps for the first out of the inning. So with one away, that'll bring up Fernando. 1 for 1 in the ball game, grounding out to shortstop in the 1st inning. What do you see different, if anything, with Fernando at the plate?
It just doesn't seem like he's trusting what his eyes are seeing. From one pitch to the next, he might be a little late. Might come over the top on one. And you can see the first 29 games, he was phenomenal. And he was consistent in his approach. I think right now, it's hard to really pinpoint what Toddy is trying to do at the plate. I think the first 29, you could pretty much tell what he was trying to do. He's looking to go the other way, let it eat on pitches, but he got ahead in the count.
And sweeper in there for a strike with the count 2-0 in his favor. It's now 2-1. Chops it to third, backing up, boom. Back foot throw, but gets there in time. He gets Tatis for out number 2.
That's a 2-1 breaking ball there. And it just didn't seem like Toddy was 100% sold out on attacking that, and he ends up kind of hitting a weak ground ball to the left side.
5 outs on 12 pitches for Wheeler. Now retired 7 in a row. There's Gavin Sheets, who lined out to center field in the second, 0 for 1. And his dad, Larry Sheets, today before the ball game. He was on the field. It's great to meet him. Very nice gentleman.
Awesome to meet Mr. Sheets down on the field today. Got to chat with him for a bit before coming up to get to work. I'd be pretty proud of the way his son has kind of taken the opportunity that he was given and just has run with it.
I said before the game it really felt wanted. The White Sox, he never really felt like he was wanted. And here, when the Padres go to get him, sign him a minor league deal, and then give him the opportunity they gave him, he feels very comfortable here, and that's why he thought a lot of his success was happening.
I mean, listen, I know these guys get paid a lot of money, but the human element of feeling like you are wanted and needed, it goes a long way with these athletes.
2-2 dribbled foul over by the Padres side of things, third base way.
Ultimately, it goes to the success that they're going to have for your team. So why wouldn't you want a guy to be as comfortable as he possibly could so he can give you his best performance? That's what Gavin Sheets has done for the Padres. I mean, where would they be without his contributions here in the early portion of the season?
This is pitch 50 for Zach Wheeler. And Sheets goes around and strikes out. The sweeper really fooled him. 5K for Wheeler. It's 1-0 Philadelphia. The bottom of the fourth inning. And JT Realmuto leads it off. That knuckleball took off up and in. 47 knuckleballs tonight, which is more than MLB pitchers combined at 20 and 25. Very few throw it today.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Where did the other 20 come from?
Yeah. Some position players mess around when they come in.
That has to be a few of them.
It could be. Because a lot of guys think they can.
Thinking, what reliever is throwing a knuckleball? I mean, only 20 of them, and at this point, but it has to be a bunch of the position players messing around with it.
JT Realmuto singled to center in the second inning. And now lines one to center, but it'll hang up long enough for Jackson Merrill to sprint in and make the catch for out number one.
Good jump by Jackson. Line drive off the bat. Good first step there for out number one.
Gonna bring up Bryson Stott. Grounded out to second base in the second inning. 0 for 1. The ground out, though, picked up an RBI, his 35th of the year, scoring Kepler for the game's only run. And so my crack stat staff here has come together. 140 innings for you here in center field. 39 innings in left field. Only 9 innings in right field. But the good news is no errors. You have 2 outfield assists.
Yeah, you know, that was my strong suit, was playing defense.
No word on the offense.
I don't think we need to do any research.
You don't want to
on
delve into my
offense.
crack staff? No?
They don't need to do that.
Okay. We'll stick with the defensive numbers then.
Certainly not here. You look at the offensive production in San Diego. Not here.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
I think it's best that way.
Two-1 to Stott. And that'll miss for ball 3. So we have our answers on the other knuckleballs. We were right. Position players involved. But you'd be surprised to find out that Padres reliever Adrian Morejon threw one.
Yeah, he has that like knuckle split thing that he has.
They must have put it under the category.
I'm pretty sure that they put that in the category.
That's ball 4. Walk number 4 allowed by Waldron. That's actually 5 walks. Fly out to left in the second. Runner goes, and the pitch is down and in. No throw, no chance. And Stott easily steals second base standing.
That is universal rule. Knuckleballers, good pitchers to run on. Catcher has to kind of stay put. Because of the late movement of the knuckleball, Stott able to steal second easy.
Now Marsh lines this one foul, cleaned it out. It was a knuckleball running in. Waldron reaching the 70 pitch mark. With 1 out here in the 4th inning. In this spot, 225 for Brandon Marsh. And sharply hit, but picked by Arise. He will flip to Waldron. Got to hurry. Didn't get there. Now trying to score is Stott. He'll be safe. Phillies take a 2-0 lead.
The hesitation from Waldron cost him. He was a slight hesitation getting off the mound. And that allowed Marsh to win the foot race. But after, he didn't immediately think about the runner. See the slight hesitation, him going towards first base cost him, and then this slight hesitation, not thinking about the runner coming from second. Stott able to sneak around, scores all the way from second base. The Phillies pick up the second run.
So Marsh will get credit for a base hit on the play as Waldron was a little tardy in getting off the mound to cover at first base.
It was, and it cost him dearly.
And the speed of Stott coming from second base to get around. Throw to first. Whoa. Arise able to dig it out of the dirt. Nice play by Arise.
That has extremely quick feet. Was able to pick a few off, and that time Arise had to come off the bag to be able to pick this one up.
And the backhand. Marsh kept his eyes on Arise to make sure it didn't get by him into foul ground. There's a pop-up foul off to the right out of play. Third AB for Trey Turner against Matt Waldron. He's grounded out to second, grounded back to the mound, 0 for 2. Going is Marsh. The throw to second, the swim move, and he gets in safely. Picked that left arm up out of the way and eluded the tag, apparently. We'll see if the Padres are going to challenge.
What a slide by Marsh. They will not.
No challenge.
And that might have been what Maldi was yelling into the dugout. Got a pitch to throw on, and it's a dime. But the quick pullback of the left hand allow Marsh to sneak the right hand in on the back.
This will get to the backstop. The sweeper, not the knuckler. And Marsh advances to third base. Another look here at this stolen base. And the swim move.
Perfect throw. Able to move the left hand, sneak the right hand, and then the right leg onto the bag before Crone's able to apply the tag again. Marsh has been able to avoid that out. Number 2. First on the ground ball, then on the stolen base.
And 2 stolen bases, 2 wild pitches, 1 pass ball. Total of 5 walks. Infield in all the way around. Just the 1 out in the inning. Sailed foul down the right field line, out of play.
Infield in for the Padres here, trying to prevent that third run from coming across.
Elevated, and Maldonado popped up like he was going to fire down to third. Ended up dropping the baseball. But it grabbed the attention of Marsh, who had to dive back quickly. Grounded softly towards third. Machado is going to go nowhere with it. A run will score. No chance with Trey Turner running. and Marsh for that matter. Even the play in front of him, third run in for the Phillies.
And he had to pick it up. He could not let that ball roll past him. Just wasn't an option. And from the moment that ball was put into play, it was trouble for Turner. Turner runs far too well. There's some tough luck for the Padres there.
Still just one out of the inning, and now Kyle Schwarber. Takes a look at ball one, didn't miss by much. Was a knuckleball. He was struck out twice, once swinging, once looking. Over to first, and a pretty good move. Back safely is Turner. Strike at the top of the zone. More knuckleballs.
Very similar to the knuckleball that punched out Schwarber in his last AB.
Line foul. Schwarber with 25 home runs on the year. He's driven in 57. Waldron has just reached 80 pitches. Schwarber may have gone. Throw down to first base, and back safely is Turner. Guess not.
Bill Miller, third base umpire, said he did not go. It's close.
I think he did. See, 14 pitches, 11 knuckleballs, by the way, to Schwarber.
Had some success against Schwarber here tonight.
Liner foul off the netting.
So far, 0 for 2 punchies for Schwarber. With the steady dose of knuckleballs.
Lead at first for Turner. Still just one out here in the Phillies' fourth inning. Didn't get the call. That was a fastball.
Thousands.
Runner goes, and the pitch in the dirt. Ball four gets away from Maldonado. So Turner's going to go to third base. He just kept going. I don't know if Maldonado was trying to say that it got trapped underneath back there, but I don't think it did.
Almost indicating that it hit his foot, and it might have hit his foot.
Sixth walk. And it is first and third, still with just one out, 2 runs in. Now you got to deal with Bryce Harper. His return tonight, the wrist injury off the IL activated. He has walked and grounded out to second base. In this spot, 347 of the year with runners in scoring position. Knocked in 24 of them.
Sounds like a bunch of little things.
Oop. Let's get the rosin bag off the top of the mound. Off the backside a little bit more. Indication from Chad Fairchild, home plate umpire.
Seems like a bunch of little things going against the Padres in this inning.
Line and cut by a rise. He'll turn it into 2. Nice play. So the line out into the double play ends things here with Schwarber being picked off at first base.
Against lefties and righties. He wants to establish the ball in early, and now as he starts to see these guys a second and third time around, starts to change up his approach to these hitters.
3-0 now for Zach Wheeler and the Phillies as we move to inning number 5, and Xander Bogaerts leads it off in the inning and takes strike 1. 95 on the fastball from Wheeler. Another strike, another fastball.
Started him off away and went right back in there to move ahead 0-2.
Line to right field and a base hit for Xander Bogaerts. He's 2 for 2.
To me, that's just more good signs for Xander Bogaerts. I think Wheeler executes the way he wants to. He gets the fastball up, but watch Xander get on the plane with that baseball. Stays behind it. Pull it in the right field for a leadoff knock.
So 2 for 2, double, and the single. Now Jay Cronenworth, a strikeout victim in the second inning. 5 strikeouts for Zach Wheeler. High strike head, 95. Wheeler, who works from the extreme first base side of the pitcher's rubber. Oh, way over there. Barely touching. That really is right at like the hip of the left-handed hitter.
That's where he throws that sinker.
And that hits Cronenworth, so the hit batsman put 2 on with nobody out here in the 5th for San Diego.
Certainly will take any type of break you can get if you're the Padres. Leadoff single from Bogey. Now Cronenworth gets clipped on that elbow guard. I'll put runners on first and second for Bryce Johnson.
Just like that, you got the tying run at the plate. Padres are 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position yesterday. It's the most runners in scoring position without a hit since 2008. They were 0 for 16 against Milwaukee.
0 for 2 tonight. Looking to finally scratch one across here.
Shows Bud, pulls back, almost gets hit. Didn't offer. 22, Bill Miller, third base umpire.
Certainly would hope not. He was trying to get out of the way.
First and second with nobody out. Johnson bunting again, and it's popped up foul.
See if Bryce still has the punt. The execution here is to force Alec Boehm to field this baseball.
He's into the lip of the grass at third base. No bunt there. Swings away and fouls it off to the left. So they took it off. Next pitch will be 60 for Zach Wheeler. On the ground, foul outside of first. Bryce Johnson struck out swinging in the second inning against Zach Wheeler. Wheeler's got 5 Ks, no walks, and has allowed 3 hits so far. 2 of them to Xander Bogaerts. In the dirt, and a great pick by Realmuto. No advance to the base runners.
Realmuto, one of the best catchers in the league. Back pick. Almost got Bogaerts a little bit too far off there. Count moves to 2-2.
Swing and a miss, and Johnson strikes out for a second time. It's 6 Ks for Wheeler on the 96-mile-an-hour fastball that was up.
High heater just above the zone. So tough to lay off of. Wheeler gets it by Johnson for the punching.
Trenton Brooks is going to pinch hit here for Martin Maldonado. So Mike Schultz trying to get some runs here whenever he can. Pinch hitting for Maldonado in the 5th inning. With runners at first and second, and now 1 down.
Brooks has got a little pop. He's got the type of swing that can tie this game up. One swing of the bat.
Especially here. I feel like anything to right has a chance to go.
Another great hitting part. Ball travels well. Really to all fields.
Line and caught. Could be 2. Flip to second. It is 2. Not able to get back is Bogaerts on the liner. Brooks lines out to Stott. Over is Turner, and the double play wraps up the inning. Bohm down the right field line. Fernando over towards the wall, and will end up in the seats.
Does that fourth inning result in 2 runs for the Phillies? Had Waldron been able to get off the mound to get that out, or even the stolen base at second? Without that, it's sitting a 2-0 ball game here in the 5th as he's navigating his 3rd time through this lineup.
Not been able to get Bohm out. Reached on an infield hit in the 1st, walked in the 3rd inning. And that knuckleball kind of flutters up and in. That one will drop in for a strike. Next pitch will be 90 for Waldron. With his first hitter of the 5th inning. And Diaz, the new catcher. The hit from Maldonado. On the ground to short, right at Bogarts. For the first out here of the 5th inning. Now a quick word from Jack in the Box.
We killed it with your new Munchie Meal, T-Pain. Pretty much, Jack.
Welcome to
Castellanos struck out and walked, and he drills this one to left. That is gone. Home run number 10 of the year for Castellanos. Puts the Phillies on top 4-0.
That was one of the knuckleballs that stayed up and certainly was good hitting. Inner 3rd. Right into the sweet spot of Nick Castellanos. Line drive bullet out to left. Gives the Phillies a 4-0 lead.
Kepler has walked in flat out to center. Scored the game's first run after walking in the 2nd inning. Scored on a ground out. Phillies get 2 in the 4th and 1 so far here in the 5th. Solo shot for Nick Castellanos. Now 10 of the year for Castellanos. Shoots it foul off to the left. Last time Kepler sent one to deep center field, and Jackson Merrill.
Hit hating at its finest right there. And talk about the improvement that Jackson has made this year defensively, but certainly has, I think, made some great strides defensively this season.
It was a tough ask last year, especially with the team going to Korea. So I kind of learned how to play center field in what worked out to be about 3.5 weeks.
All while managing being a rookie offensively, and not only being a rookie, but being a big part of the offense.
In his direction in left center, and Merrill, look out. They will come together as Johnson and Merrill both there, but Merrill makes the catch. Apparently, he did not hear Jackson. 2 down.
It's a loud place here. You got to call it as late as possible. Just keep calling it. Even when you think somebody's heard you, just keep calling it.
No harm, no foul?
No. Two little guys. I should say little. They're both a lot bigger than I am, but a little bit different with Gavin Sheets in left.
Yes.
Versus
quite a bit
Bryce.
different.
Yeah.
Remember Alex Dickerson and Travis Jankowski colliding in left center at Petco Park. That was not a pretty sight.
No. Collisions can be nasty if no one recognizes no one's coming or that someone's coming.
Next pitch will be an even hundo for Matt Waldron. And it misses. Just away on the knuckleball. Bermuda single to center in the second, lined out to center in the fourth. And will take the strike. Trying to get Waldron through the fifth inning. It's now 2 outs in the inning. Slap foul off to the right, out of play.
Padres will certainly have to try to figure out the puzzle, otherwise known as Zach Wheeler.
That's the other problem. And it's a big problem.
Yeah.
Line to right, and it's in for a base hit. Second hit of the night for the Phillies catcher.
Piece of hit in there by JT Realmuto. Sinker down and away, tries to spot it up. Just excellent piece of hitting.
That is going to do it. We've got a pitching change from Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia.
RA. Opponents hitting .248 on the season.
Bryson Stott Has grounded out and walked. Muto at first base being held on over there by Arise. Responsibility of Waldron, who just departed after 4 2/3, 6 hits. Walked 6. Struck out 3. This will get away, and up to second base goes Realmuto. So you get the knuckleball out of the game, but a slider that is bounced leads to an advancing JT Realmuto.
Diaz freshly into the game. Slider will go down as a wild pitch.
Realmuto into scoring position. 2 down in the inning. Swing and a miss, fastball, top of the zone. Evens a count of 2-2.
96. Top of the zone, inner third. Scott swing through it.
That's strike 3, gets him looking. The sinker will end the inning. Home run in the inning for Nick Castellanos as the
Yamamoto, I think, has kind of slowed a little bit. Skeens is still being Paul Skeens. He's on a tough team, though. And then, I think as it pertains to down the stretch, you got to believe with the Phillies being in the midst of winning a division, there's gonna be a lot of eyeballs on Wheeler going down the stretch.
And reduced innings for Shohei Ohtani. We'll see how that works out. Maybe next year.
Yeah, I think he won't really actually factor in until he's on the mound consistently. So he's working his way back from Tommy John.
We got to see that up close and personal.
He did. I mean, two of those guys on the list are in the division in Webb and Yamamoto.
Gives you a little idea about how tough it is to operate in the National League West these days. This one fouled off to the left out of play for a rise. And Wheeler with 67 pitches, dealing with his first hitter of the 6th inning. Rise, Machado, Merrill expected in the inning. To third, and Bohm on the run and in time to retire a Rise. Bring up Manny Machado, who so far has had no success against Wheeler tonight. He struck out swinging in the first inning, grounded out to third base in the 3rd inning.
Still sitting on a career hit 1993, 7 hits away from 2000.
Chases a sweeper. That's nasty.
He's already established that sinker in. He missed with the first pitch and then used that to his advantage. Go with the sweeper moving away from the righty.
Driven to left field for Machado. Back is Kepler at the wall. It's going to be off the wall. Plays the carom and quickly gets it back in, but a wall ball single for Manny Machado. Inching closer now to 2,000. He's 6 away.
And he doesn't miss home run number 14 by much, but 103 off the bat on the same sweeper. This time he left it in the middle of the plate. He made a mistake. Manny made him pay, but Kepler does a nice job playing this ball off the wall perfectly to hold Manny to a long single.
1 out, 1 on for Jackson Merrill, an 0 for 2 night so far. And a ground ball down to first, but foul.
I think Wheeler has succeeded tonight at facing Merrill, getting him to expand the zone, whether it be up. That time, throws the cutter in off the plate, gets ahead again 0-1. And when guys like Wheeler are working from ahead, they are that much more difficult to deal with. Stan mentioned it earlier when I said it about not chasing. It's easier said than done. No doubt it's easier said than done, but if you're going to beat Wheeler, it is a must that you are able to do that to the best of your ability.
Going around as Merrill couldn't hold up. But 75 coming up for Zach Wheeler with 1 out here in the 6th inning. Over to first, and Machado back to the bag. Almost threw that one away.
Wheeler does such a good job of establishing the ball in. He gets you as a hitter thinking about it. And that opens you up away, and that opens you up in off the plate.
Swing and a miss, and Jackson Merrill strikes out of the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 7th strikeout of the night for Zach Wheeler, 2 down.
That was exactly by plan. Finishes him with a fastball away, but he set that up with the cutters in and the fastball in before opening Merrill up away to finish the punch-out.
2 down with Machado at first, and here's Fernando. Grounded to short in the first, grounded out to third in the 4th inning. '97 and on the corner.
Right, you see the pitch before, though, was a sinker in off the plate. He gets Toddy to kind of move his feet and then spots up the heater away, and it looks so much further away after the previous pitch.
That was close, getting the arms out of the way. 2 balls and a strike to Fernando with 2 down here in the 6th inning. Manny Machado at first base. Line to center field, and that's in for a base hit for Fernando as Machado will take second base.
Good piece of hitting from Toddy there. Wheeler again trying to go back in, establish that fastball in. And Toddy just does a nice job staying inside this, fights it off up the middle on a line. Good piece of hitting there by Toddy.
2 on, 2 down.
First and second now for Sheets.
Gavin 0 for 2 tonight. Is lined out to center. He has struck out swinging. It's been a 7 strikeout performance tonight for Zach Wheeler. This will be his 80th pitch. Padres have left 3 men on so far tonight. Not been a ton of traffic, but they have had chances. Strike call, not sure it was.
Missed the call there.
Still pretty good, a little more hittable 3rd time through, but that's normal. So far, 3rd time through, the Padres have 2 hits against him. The single off the wall for Manny Machado, single to center for Fernando Tatis Jr. Just off the outside edge and a swing and a miss.
Remember, Chad Fairchild gave him that call earlier when he didn't swing. It's the same exact pitch. This time, Sheets takes a hack at it. Moves the count to 2-2.
That strike 3 gets him looking. The Padres will strand a pair. 8 strikeouts for Zach Wheeler. It's the fastball. Throws him. Peralta got the final out of the 5th inning, back out there to start the 6th inning. And And the strike to Brandon Marsh out of the 9th spot in the order. 1 for 2, a single and a run scored in the 4th inning for Marsh. Grounds one right side. Cronenworth a step to his left for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So 1 out. That'll bring up Trey Turner, flipping the order over.
Turner 1 for 3 on the evening.
Just joining us, Matt Waldron, 4 2/3 innings through 104 pitches. The fly ball, center field. Merrill going back, shy of the track to make the catch out there in center for out number 2. When Padres pitchers K9, you win. Score 25% off your total purchase at participating Petco locations tomorrow with your loyalty membership. Just ask to redeem the Padres K9 promotion at checkout. 2 down, 3 in a row, retired by Peralta since coming into the game. And here is Kyle Schwarber. Now Waldron, 4 runs in his 4 2/3, 6 walks, 3 strikeouts, and again 104 pitches.
Waldron certainly sold out to the knuckleball tonight. I mean, some of those walks are due to him not giving in with the knuckleball, just continuing to throw it.
Schwarber takes a strike on the outside edge. Not sure he totally agreed, but he's down 0-2. He's already struck out twice tonight, once swinging, once looking. A walk last time and a strikeout this time. A quick inning for Wandy Peralta. We'll go to the 7th. Phillies have a 4-0 lead.
Name Zach Wheeler.
Ready to start the 7th inning at 6, 7, and 8. Bogarts, Cronenworth, and Johnson to face Wheeler. Pitch 85 coming up from the right-hander. And it runs in, a fastball inside.
2 of the 5 hits have come from this guy, in Xander Bogaerts.
Fly ball headed to left, and Kepler coming in. will make the catch for the first out of the inning as Bogarts is retired. Got one away, and that'll bring up Jake Cronenworth. A strikeout victim, been hit by a pitch as well. Curveball, yeah, all the pitches. He's used it from time to time, but I mean, it's so good. I would be tempted to use that curveball all the time.
He uses it especially to the left-handed hitters, and it has been a clinic from him tonight.
He's got 16 swing and misses now on the night. Curveball just 8% of the time. Pitch 90 for Wheeler.
His style and the way he attacks lefties and righties reminds me so much of Roy Halladay, and how he is attacking that inner half of the plate, lefties and righties, and it just opens you up for everything away when he needs it.
One of my favorite pitchers all time to watch, Roy Halladay. He was great fun to watch. Always wanted to go all 9 if he could.
He might have been fun to watch, but he was not fun to hit.
I guarantee he was not fun to face.
Him and Wheeler have very similar stuff, too. Wheeler's one of the best at really establishing the ball in. You just don't see a lot of pitchers wanting to approach it that way.
Swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 9 for Zach Wheeler.
There's the curveball again. This time, it's not even below the zone. It's likely a strike either way. But he gets that, for a left-handed hitter, he gets you thinking about the ball in, and all of a sudden that front side starts flying open. And even on a pitch that if you're dialed in, you can hammer, you're off because you're already pulling off.
Back to Halladay for a moment. He did something that you don't see often. The guy had success at the major league level, then all of a sudden didn't. And the Blue Jays sent him all the way back to A-ball in Dunedin to figure it out. He figured it out in a big way when he came back. He never went back down again. The liner to center, Brandon Marsh is there to make the catch. 7th inning stretch, 4-0 Philadelphia.
Morgan in for his 14th appearance of the year. 0-1 with a 2.35. Opponent's hitting 182. He's gotten better at seemingly in each of his outings after the first couple.
Bryce Harper to lead it off here in the Phillies' 7th inning. Nice job by Wandy Peralta tonight. Base 4 hitters retired them all, 2 by way of the K. In relief of Matt Waldron, who's currently on the hook, allowing all 4 runs that the Phillies currently have. Swing and a miss. 99 by him.
Well, high cheese. Top of the zone, outside corner. Moves ahead of Bryce Harper, 1-2.
Not close. 100 kind of overthrew that one, I think.
Overcooked it. I think that's understandable when facing off against Bryce Harper. Love to put the Bryce Harper notch in your belt. You can get to punchy.
Look out. That one almost hit him. It did hit him. And it was a curveball. The batsman starts things here at the bottom of the 7th.
There's ball clipsing. Breaking ball. Got the back foot.
Back foot curveball.
Tried to move it out the way. Couldn't quite get it out the way fast enough.
You've heard of the back foot slider. That's a back foot curveball.
Yeah, they don't actually mean it literally. That's just kind of the general area they want you to throw it in.
This was literal. Here's Alec Bohm. Single, walked, and grounded out to short. Balls, no strikes to Alec Bohm. Been on twice. Infield hit to second, a walk. Or grounding out to short in the 5th inning. Back to Morgan. He'll fire to second for 1, on to first for 2. Double play, nicely done. And Cronenworth coming over to cover on the 1-4-3 DP.
Nice play there by David Morgan. In position to field. Gets it. Throws it right over the back. Cronenworth able to get his feet together. Touches second. Gets the throw to first for the 1-4-3 double play.
Second double play turned by the Padres in this game. And brings up Nick Castellanos. Flips it foul off to the right out of play. Timeout for our Callaway Kings of Distance. When last we saw Castellanos in the 5th inning. Curveball, high one. And it's strike 2.
And right at the top of the zone. Morgan quickly ahead, 0-2.
Well, the double figures now as Castellanos hit home runs. At 23 last year, 29 the year before. Most he's ever had in any season. Just remember the Cincinnati Reds when he had 34 home runs and 100 RBIs. A 309 average back in 2021. I don't think you got a real good look at that one.
Just a bit up. Uses timeout.
I'm not sure what the discussion is about. John Fairchild, home plate umpire tonight. Back to Morgan, who picks it nicely. He'll run a bit, flips underhanded, and in time to first base to end the inning. We're going to the 8th in Phillies.
He's the only pitcher in the last 7 starts that has gone 6 or more. And so that does not happen again here tonight. And we'll see if Pavetta can accomplish it tomorrow.
Yeah, a total of 4 2/3 tonight from Matt Waldron. And it took him 104 pitches to do that. There's Diaz bats for the first time and pops it up left side. The shortstop Trey Turner stride on the outfield lawn for out number 1. And Wheeler at 96 pitches, working here into the 8th. There is action in the pen though. Tanner Banks, Orion Kirkering up in the pen.
Certainly understand why Phillies have elected to leave Wheeler in. The bullpen has had its struggles this season.
Line to right, and that's it for a base hit. Second hit of the night for Rise. He joins Xander Bogaerts in multi-hit efforts.
He continues to heat up with the bat. His second knock. Both to the pull side. Mistake in the middle of the plate, and Luis whacks it in the right field for a 1-out knock.
Brings up Manny Machado. 1-4-3 night. Single to left off the wall. Takes his hitter's timeout before the at-bat starts. Juan Soto used to do that on occasion.
Sometimes it's the first pitch you need to be most ready for, and if You let the pitcher, or whatever, for whatever reason your timing is messed up, sometimes it's warranted to use that timeout before the at-bat starts.
Rise with a good-sized lead at first base as Machado fouls it off to the right out of play. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Counts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Oh, that was a crispy pop right there, my friend.
Thank you. Down and in to Machado. 100 pitches even now for Zach Wheeler. Rob Thompson would love to get him through the 8th inning. Ooh, we got a call there.
Could certainly look to be off the plate there, and either getting a little help that he probably doesn't need here to move the count to 2-2.
Not close with a curveball. Seems to work better against lefties than right-handers.
Doesn't use it very much against right-handers.
108 is his season high. It was against Atlanta back on May 23rd. On the ground towards third. Bohm will go to first base and get Machado. On to second goes Arise, but Machado erased for out number 2 of the 8th.
Just to kind of illustrate how little he uses that curveball against right-handers, it's only the 6th time he's thrown a curveball to a right-hander all season.
Well, one of the reasons that Rob Thompson does not like going to his bullpen, it's not very good.
Yeah, that leads to the first statistic on their second fewest innings. Yeah, you're not going to go to your bullpen if they haven't been very good, or you'll be reluctant to go to your bullpen.
Swing and miss for Jackson Merrill. The Padres 18 straight with runners in scoring position. At bats, empty, without any hits. Last one, the 3-run home run by Sheets on Saturday. It's the last hit they got with a runner in scoring position.
It's one thing to create a bunch of opportunities and not be able to come through. It's a whole different thing to not have very many and still have the same results. You got to find a way to just scratch one across. Padres haven't been able to do that.
Fights it off, foul, 96. Still throwing hard, even though he's up over 100.
You can see the frustration in Jackson's face, dealing with Zach Wheeler all night.
One-two pitch. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out 96, and it was up. Strikeout number 10 ends the top of the 8th. 4-0 Phillies. Last of the 8th. Back out there is David Morgan, his second inning of relief, and it's Max Kepler leading it off here for the Phillies. He was one that got robbed, by the way, in the 3rd inning by Merrill. Making a bid for his 10th home run of the year. Peppers it foul off to the left out of play. Strike over the inside edge. Waldron, 4 2/3, giving up the 4 runs that the Phillies have. Peralta, inning and a third, retired everybody. On the ground, foul outside of first. I feel pretty deep all the way around. From Johnson to Merrill to Tatis. To left, and Johnson goes back. They'll take him almost to the track and then onto it a step. For out number 1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Padres baseball is better together. Group spaces provide turnkey experiences to create unforgettable memories. Book a suite or all-inclusive hospitality space at Petco Park this season. Learn more at Padres.com/groups. 1 out in the 8th. JT Realmuto. 2-hit night tonight for Realmuto. Single to center, single to right. So both teams with 6 hits in the hit column, but the run column much different. 4-0. Phillies on top of the Padres.
I mean, outside of the homer from Castellanos, really nothing major that happened. But it doesn't take a major event to happen if the offense is not able to score. Look at the offensive side of things. It's been 4 guys in on the offense, right? Rise has 2 hits, Machado has 1, Toddy has 1, and Bogarts has 2. Certainly not enough, unless you got the long ball involved, that you're going to be able to do much offensively.
You can't put them together. That's the other thing, too. This one is to shallow right, sending Cronenworth out to the short lawn and right, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. So Realmuto retired.
That's right. They haven't. 0 for 19 in the last 2 games. Total of 19 left on base. At least through 8 innings of play of tonight's game.
Bryson Stott has grounded out to second, walked and scored, and struck out. His ground out, though, was productive, picked up an RBI. First run of the game, in fact, back in the 2nd inning. 99 from David Morgan. Elevated at 98 and effective. Jumping ahead, 0-2. Of course, the wild pitches, 4 of them, 1 pass ball, 6 walks for Phillies batters. That has not helped things either.
And that certainly moved guys into scoring position. You had the play at first base where Waldron didn't get off the mound in time. Then you had the nice job with Marsh pulling his hand back on a play that looked like he would have been thrown out at second. He eventually scored.
This This one is in the air to left field. Over comes Merrill, and again they come together, and Merrill makes the catch again. But Johnson definitely not hearing him. We're going to the ninth. It's 4-0. Padres trailing by 4. Glad to see Wheeler out of the game and get into this pen for the Phillies. Tanner Banks first out of the pen for the Phillies.
There's Banks, 35th appearance, 2-0, 3.50 ERA. Opponents hitting .224 on the season.
High fly ball to left field. Kepler in a step or two for the first out of the 9th inning. So one away. That'll bring up Gavin Sheets.
Gavin hitless on the evening. Lined out his first at bat. Punched out the next two.
And one swinging, one looking. Jumps back out of the way of a strike that grabs the inside corner. Good moving fastball. Line to center field. Marsh coming in to make the catch. Below the cap high for out number 2 of the 9th.
Gavin continues to swing a good bat. 2 lineouts today. This one again right at Marsh for out number 2.
So the Padres down to their last out here with 2 away in the 9th. And Xander Bogaerts coming up. He's got 2 of the 6 Padres hits in the game. Double to right center in the 2nd. Single to right in the 5th. Did fly out his last time up to left. Banks falling behind 2-0. On the ground towards third base. Bohm will bobble it, and Bogaerts will reach. It's going to be a tough play anyway. It was not hit hard. And boom, ends up dropping the baseball, and Bogaerts will reach. It's going to be a base hit. Third hit of the night for Xander Bogaerts.
Back-to-back 3-hit days for Xander Bogaerts. This was, as you said, Don, going to be a tough play. And on the transfer, Bohm loses it.
A couple times.
It'll go down as an infield single for Bogey.
So Bogaerts gains his lead at first with 2 down. And he will just take second base. The DI, defensive indifference. They're not holding him on. Cronenworth lifts it in the air to right center field. Over is Brandon Marsh and under to make the catch that will end the ball game. The Padres are shut out tonight by the Philadelphia Phillies, a final of 4-0. And they ran into a very good Zach Wheeler tonight. 8 shutout innings, no walks, 10 strikeouts. And Wheeler will pick up the victory. It'll be his 8th of the season, as he was very impressive, and the Padres continue to struggle with runners in scoring position. A continuing problem for San Diego. The final again, the Phillies 4.